What if I told you that out there, right now, some animals can solve complex problems faster than a human? What if they can plan for a future they can't see, use sophisticated tools to get what they want, and even communicate using something that looks an awful lot like language? For centuries, we've held on to this idea that intelligence, real intelligence, is a uniquely human trait. We built our entire worldview around it. But what if that idea was completely, fundamentally wrong? Science is now revealing a truth that might make us a little uncomfortable. We are not alone at the top of the intellectual food chain. Prepare to have your mind blown, because we're about to meet the animal geniuses living right under our noses. Let's start with a creature you've probably seen 100 times, but never truly appreciated. The raven, along with their cousins, the crows. These birds are shattering our definition of intelligence. We tend to think of animal behavior as instinct, a pre-programmed response to a situation. But what ravens do goes far beyond that. Almost every single time, the ravens picked the right tool and saved it, knowing they would need it later. Think about what that means. It's not just memory, it's prospection, the ability to plan for a future event. That's a cognitive skill we once thought belonged exclusively to us and our closest primate relatives. But wait, it gets even more shocking. Let's travel to the islands of New Caledonia, home to a species of crow that would make MacGyver proud. But they also manufacture their own tools, carefully crafting hooks from twigs and leaves to improve their efficiency. But the truly mind-bending part is their ability to use tools in sequence. In one famous experiment, a crow was presented with a short stick. This stick was too short to reach a piece of food deep inside a box. However, it was just long enough to retrieve a second, longer stick from another container. This longer stick could then be used to get the food. The crows figured this out. They understood that the first tool was a means to get a second tool, which was a means to an end. This is called sequential tool use, and it demonstrates an incredible understanding of cause and effect and the ability to solve multi-step problems. These birds are not just reacting to their environment. They are actively manipulating it to achieve their goals, showing a level of foresight that rivals that of a young child. Now let's dive deep into the ocean, into a world so alien it might as well be another planet, to meet a creature that seems to defy all biological rules, the octopus. First off, their anatomy is just bizarre. They have 3 hearts and blue blood, but the real marvel is their nervous system. This means an octopus's arm can be busy solving a puzzle, like unscrewing a jar from the inside, while the rest of its body is doing something else entirely. The stories of octopus intelligence are legendary among marine biologists and aquarium keepers. They are masters of escape. There are countless documented cases of octopuses squeezing their boneless bodies through impossibly small openings to escape their tanks, sometimes even traveling across the floor to visit other tanks, perhaps to steal a snack. But perhaps the most incredible behavior is their use of tools and their capacity for learning. Octopuses have been observed carrying coconut shells across the ocean floor, assembling them later to create a portable shelter. This isn't just using an object. It's transporting a tool for future use. Even more startling, scientists have witnessed octopuses learning by observation. In one study, an octopus watched another solve a puzzle to get a reward. When it was its turn, the observer octopus solved the puzzle much faster, having learned just by watching. This is sophisticated social learning, something we primarily associate with highly social mammals like primates and dolphins. The solitary, seemingly alien octopus is proving to be one of the most intelligent and mysterious minds on the planet. Speaking of dolphins, let's return to the world of mammals, but stay in the water. We've always been fascinated by dolphins. Their playful nature and seemingly ever-present smile make them easy to love. But beneath that friendly exterior lies a mind of staggering complexity, and what might be the closest thing to a non-human language we've ever encountered. For years, scientists have been studying the complex series of clicks and whistles that dolphins use to communicate. What they've discovered is nothing short of revolutionary. It turns out that dolphins have what are called signature whistles. Each dolphin develops its own unique whistle during its first year of life, and this whistle functions, for all intents and purposes, as a name. They call out to each other using these names, and other dolphins respond specifically to their own signature whistle. This isn't just a generic call. It's a specific address from one individual to another. They can maintain these social bonds and recognize each other's names even after being separated for over 20 years. But their intelligence doesn't stop at communication. Dolphins exhibit incredibly complex social structures and cooperative behaviors. They work together in teams to hunt, using sophisticated strategies like herding fish into a tight ball or chasing them onto a muddy bank for an easy meal. This requires communication, coordination, and a deep understanding of each individual's role within the group. Furthermore, dolphins are one of the very few species, alongside great apes, elephants, and magpies, that have passed the mirror self-recognition test. When a dolphin sees itself in a mirror, it doesn't react as if it's seeing another dolphin. It investigates itself, turning and twisting to see parts of its own body. This indicates a sense of self-awareness, a consciousness of itself as a distinct individual, so they know who they are and they know who their friends are by name. This level of self and social awareness was once considered the absolute pinnacle of intelligence, the exclusive domain of humankind. Dolphins prove that's just not true. So, where does this leave us? We've seen birds that plan for the future, cephalopods that learn by watching, and marine mammals that call each other by name. Each discovery forces us to ask a fundamental question: what does intelligence really mean? For too long, we've defined it in our own image, using a checklist of human abilities: language, tool use, planning, self-awareness. But as we continue to study the animal kingdom, we find that those abilities are not exclusively ours. They are present in different forms, in different degrees, across a vast spectrum of life. Perhaps intelligence isn't a single monolithic thing that you either have or you don't. Maybe it is a diverse suite of cognitive tools that life has evolved to solve the endless problems of survival. If an animal can plan, communicate, learn, remember, and adapt to its environment in complex ways, isn't that intelligence? The truth is, intelligence isn't human, it's biological. It's a property of life itself. And the more we look, the more we find it in the most unexpected places. This realization isn't just a scientific curiosity. It fundamentally changes our relationship with the planet and the other minds we share it with. It's a humbling thought, and maybe a little unsettling, to realize that the world is far more full of thought and intention than we ever imagined. The age of human exceptionalism is over. The age of biological intelligence has begun. Thanks for watching. If this video made you think, be sure to like and subscribe for more explorations into the mysteries of our world.